Things to do in the city of Porto during the pandemic in 2021? Well, I got you covered on this one. Hey my friend! In my latest video I showed you how to get to Portugal during this pandemic at the moment in May 2021. In this video I actually want to show you what you can do in the city of Porto and enjoy your stay to the fullest. Arriving in Porto, I actually recommend to do a free walking tour. Free walking tours are the best way to actually explore a city, guided by local people. And in Porto I advise you to use the Porto walkers. We had our guide Anna and she was actually the kindest soul I've ever got to know, because there were basically no tourists there. We were the only ones in the group and actually her first tour after the lockdown. Also, we got a bit lost to get to the meeting point, because be aware of the big bridge, the Pont Louis, because there is an upper part and a downer part, and Google Maps kind of misleaded us a bit, but she was kind enough to show us the way via phone so we can actually meet up. Starting our tour in the old town of Porto, we visited the São Bento train station and then made our way through the city. And she actually had a lot of historic facts, but it was never boring at any point. It was actually super interesting to see how different events in the past lead to like specific buildings nowadays, or for example why there are those red telephone stations everywhere in the city. Or did you know that J.K. Rowling was actually inspired by Porto to write Harry Potter? I didn't actually, but at some point we saw students who were like blessed in the Cathedral of Porto, and they were wearing those robes that are actually known in the Harry Potter movies. But J.K. Rowling really lived in Porto before she was writing her Harry Potter series. Then we made our way down to those beautiful narrow streets down to the river. And Anna explained so much to us in such interesting facts, just like francesinha, the typical food in Porto, which is actually called French girls when you translate it into English. We tried that one later as well, and it was good, like especially I love the sauce, but it was a lot of meat. And I usually don't eat meat except for my travels because I want to try everything, but it was a lot. We shared actually one. And going down to the riverside through those narrow streets, Anna actually showed us the real Porto, which sadly is like the Porto side close to the river is an Airbnb paradise mostly, because there is no rent stop there. So basically they can take whatever rent they prefer, and all the local people that can't really afford it anymore. Also, people can just buy all those houses, don't have to renovate them and then resell them. So it appears that you have some houses that look kind of abandoned, because they are. And that is also kind of sad. One of the reasons for that is that Porto actually never was a touristic city until like the year of 2012. Before, nobody really had it on their radar, but then tourism kind of overflowed the city. So COVID kind of led to Porto citizens actually enjoying their city now without a ton of tourists. But yeah, then arriving at the river, we quickly had to say goodbye to Anna, because we actually had to pick up our car from the rental car service close to the airport. But we didn't leave without getting one of the famous pastéis de nata from a really small cafe called Castro, but they only do them and it tasted amazing. I got it with an espresso, like a small one, and the combination is just mwah, mwah. This is definitely the best place, I promise. We picked up our rental car at Toyota Aygo at the rental service. Everything went down super smooth, and we actually just paid €40 plus 40 We actually just paid 40 euros plus a 40 euros insurance, like fully comprehensive, for the complete time there, like around 10 days. It was so damn cheap. If you only travel to Porto, you really don't need a car, but we wanted to explore more of the whole country, so that's why we got one. So before getting back to the city, we made our way down south to a beach town called Espinho, which was so beautiful. We had to stay in cold, grey Germany for too long, so we were really desperate for this ocean breeze. And what can I say? I loved it. Of course, the wind was a bit strong because it is the Atlantic Ocean still, but we found ourselves some nice dunes where the wind wasn't too strong anymore. We got ourselves our lunch from a nearby supermarket, way cheaper than those beach restaurant. We really enjoyed the ocean view and actually spent the whole day there before heading back to the city. Parking in Porto on the street isn't the easiest because of all these narrow streets. We decided to go to a parking house. But keep in mind, parking is for free, I think after 7 or 8 p.m. and before 7 a.m. in the morning, and also on Sunday, so just depending on the time you're in Porto. We spent our evening at one of the bars down at the river on the Gaia side and decided to treat ourselves with a really own port wine tasting. Of course, you can also do tours to really see how the wine is produced and everything, but we kind of had a lack of money and time. But it is possible there to get like 4 port wines for a price of, I think we paid 15 euros, which was really okay. So you get those wines in like short and small glasses, and we actually had our tasting while watching another stunning sunset. Port wine is actually a safe name for the wine produced in Porto, or in this northern area of Portugal. Same as champagne can only be called champagne because it was grown in the Champagne of France. Those are really special grapes and also a special way to produce the wine. It is much stronger than normal like red wine. It has about like 20% alcohol in there, but it's also so much sweeter. It tastes more like a liquor than a real wine. I can really recommend you try one day. Getting home a bit tipsy, we were so happy to have chosen this trip because it was already amazing and it was just the beginning. To see what else you can do in the north, make sure to just subscribe to my video and activate the clock, because in my next video I'm gonna show you the area where the port wine actually is grown and you don't want to miss that. So make sure to also activate the clock, and I'm happy for every like I can get. See you in my next video. Until then, stay tuned, stay curious and stay creative, my friend.